Hello, Denise. Good morning. We are live. It is Monday morning. It is January 20th. Um, Happy Monday, friends. Happy Monday. We're firmly firmly planted in 2025 right now. If you are joining me live, please say hello in the comments. And if you're watching on replay, give a hashtag replay and I'll come back and say hi and good morning. So, if you're new to Monday Morning Motivation, this is where we kind of talk about some food for thought for the week, some mindset, maybe some action steps, kind of depending on what the food for thought is. Good morning, Amy and Kesey and Susan. Good morning. Good morning. Christine, hello. Nice to see you. It's nice to see folks who I don't get to normally see on Monday Morning Motivations because it is a holiday for a lot of us. So if you are on break today, hooray! A2, good morning. Marie, good morning. Christine, good morning. Tamara, good morning. Good morning. All right. So this weekend, I don't know if it's the freezing cold temperatures, the snow, the midwinter feelings, but I decided to plan a little adventure for myself, a little adventure coming up in the future. And actually, it's maybe more than a little adventure. And I had an opportunity kind of fall into my lap, and I just ran with it. I'm not going to share exactly what it is yet. You will hear more about this in the future. But for personal safety reasons, I try not to share too many specific plans just out there on the internet. But suffice to say, I am planning an adventure for this year that feels big for me. Now, it might not feel big for somebody else, but for me, it feels big. And as I've been planning this adventure, now when we say adventure, that sounds fun, right? But adventure can also sound scary. And as I start to plan this adventure, my mind is full of the what ifs. There are so many easy ways that I could just talk myself out of doing what is most likely going to be a very positive experience. However, your brain is optimized to keep you safe. And that means that when you step outside of your comfort zone and plan something in the future that should be a great experience, it is full of what if this happens? What if that happens? Is this really a good idea? Is this wise? Is this something that you actually want to do? It is that whole what if your brain is just optimized to keep you safe. Keeping you safe in 2025 a lot of times also means keeping you stuck because familiar is safe. So let's talk about how this relates to clutter. When we see our homes and there's a lot of clutter, or we look at our finances and there's a lot of clutter, or we look at our social or close relationships that we have and there's a lot of clutter, because remember, it's all clutter. Clutter is anything that stands in the way of forward momentum. That's my personal definition for clutter. Fear is definitely something that can stand in the way of forward momentum. It's a huge one, maybe the biggest one. But when we look at these scenarios in our life where there's something standing in our way of moving forward, our brain says, we're comfortable here. We know the outcome. We know this. It's familiar. It's familiar. Let's just stay exactly where we are and not change, because on the other side of change, there is the unknown, and that can be scary AF. But here is the thing. Sometimes we have to override those fears. We have to turn on the logical brain and remember this one phrase that I love so much whenever I hear myself saying, what if, what if, what if? I try and finish that sentence with these words. What if it turns out better than you ever imagined? What if it turns out better than you ever imagined? Because most of the time, when we embark on a change and it feels scary and there is fear, it usually, like 99.9% of the time, turns out really great. It turns out better than you ever imagined. But you're over here imagining the worst case scenario because your brain is primed to keep you safe and being in a comfortable spot, even if it's not serving you, even if it's preventing you from moving forward, is what feels safe to our brains and to our bodies. I mean, we feel it everywhere. So, my note for you right now today is, what if it turns out better than you ever imagined? If you are sitting on some fear, if it is holding you back from your decluttering goals, from any goal that you have in your life, what if you can just say to yourself, what if it turns out better than I ever imagined? And move forward with faith that in the future, it is going to be just right for you. It is going to be just right for you. What if it turns out better than you ever imagined? Take those fears, recognize them, set them off to the side just a little bit, and take one step forward. Because what if it turns out better than you ever imagined? Hello, Karen. Good morning, Kesey and Madonna. The winter blahs. Yep. Sometimes they can motivate you to step outside of your comfort zone and do something that feels a little bit scary. So if you are at home, if you are hunkered down, if it is only 1 degree at your house, like it is kind of at my house, um, maybe this is a good time to face some of those fears, take some action, make some plans, do some decluttering. And remember, decluttering can look very different for all of us. It's not necessarily just removing physical things from our life. It's also facing really difficult decisions. It's also embarking on incredible journeys. It looks different for all of us. And I invite you this week to set aside your fear and imagine, what if it turns out better than you ever imagined? All right, my friends, sending you lots of love and strength this week. Go forth, declutter. And we will catch up next week. Or if you want to tune in tomorrow to the other live stream that we have weekly, Ask a Clutter Boss, that will be tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Have a beautiful week, my friends.